And doesn't that just look fab? Look at it. It's really, really amazing. Hello, Flight Sim fans, and welcome to the Practically Geek channel. In today's video, I'm here at Manchester City Airport and Heliport, or also known as Manchester Barton Aerodrome. In today's video, we're not actually looking at a default to freeware or a default to payware. We're going to be actually looking at default to default, if that makes sense. In fact, this is a video to show you the recently updated world update for Microsoft Flight Simulator by Asobo, and we're going to be checking out Barton Aerodrome versus the new Barton Aerodrome, which you will have now. This won't require any download. It will require a download, just like the Japan and the USA world updates. You will need to go to the marketplace and download this. They are quite hefty downloads, but once you do download it, you will get this new UK update, improving the United Kingdom and Ireland quite a lot. So let's have a look around at the default Manchester Barton Aerodrome, just to have a look at the autogen buildings and the airfield as a whole, and then we will jump into the Asobo World Update version. So the city airport here at Manchester Barton Aerodrome has actual 4 grass strips. Going through them, runway 08 right and 26 left is 625 meters. Runway 08 left to 26 right is 641 meters. Runway 02 and 20 is 533 meters, and runway 1432 is 398 meters. So making our way over the aerodrome here, you can see that there's a helicopter just bottom right there in the 2D satellite imagery, and there is quite a lot of poor ground coverage in this aerodrome. It's quite a decent size. You can see that Manchester City Centre just off in the background there, and this is close to the Trafford Centre, the big shopping centre, and the ski slope as well. Unfortunately, none of that is mapped. It's just autogen buildings in a rough shape. And same with the aerodrome here. It's a couple of hangars. There's actually a control tower in the correct place. I am familiar-ish with this aerodrome. I did have it for X-Plane 11. I think it was an Orbex scenery, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I'm hoping we're going to get some really good detail in the Asobo, obviously in the new default Asobo airport. The aerodrome itself in default state right now, as it was shipped with the simulator from release in August 2020, is not too bad. There's a hangars and control tower, but the ground texturing isn't great. So with that being said, let's jump into the new Manchester Barton Aerodrome and see what Asobo have done with their handcrafted version of this airfield. Welcome back to Barton Aerodrome here in Manchester, England, and it's been a good couple of weeks since I recorded the first part of that video that you saw the older scenery in. We are now in February, February 17th to be precise. The UK update came out yesterday after a few delays, and Manchester Barton Aerodrome, or the city airport and heliport, looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to show you around the new scenery right now. Well, as you can see, all the proper hangars, the lovely control tower here. I've got a couple of screenshots going on my social media of that. It looks stunning, really, really amazing. The old World War II hangar there, and for a new handcrafted airport by the Asobo team, and I would like to say this has also been thanks to Gaia Simulations. You may recognize that name from my previous videos, my ZLMZ airport review and Florence airport review. The guys who made those airports actually helped with this update. They contributed to 4 airports. I can't remember which ones they were. I'm assuming this has got to be one of them because it looks really amazing, and we will be taking a more in-depth look right now, so stay with me as we explore Barton Aerodrome in Manchester. As you can see below us there, we've got the city heliport hangar now in the simulator. There's no static helicopters, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but doesn't the texture and on the apron look really great? It looks fantastic. I've had a look at this already. I do like to always put my first impressions, kind of reactions in, but I did a lot of exploring around different airports and new points of interest last night, and one of these was Barton Aerodrome because I used it extensively in X-Plane 11. But let's carry on. Let's have a look at more of the surrounding buildings and moving on to the main section where the control tower is for a closer look. And as you can see, they've added more surrounding buildings, lovely new. They're not custom buildings, they're now actually known as default, so apologies if I do end up going back into my old airport review or freeware sort of video spiel, because I can't help it, but this is all default now. So I mean, obviously if you do update and you do install the UK package, you make sure you do that through the marketplace. But you can see it looks, look at this lovely little football pitch, and the ground textures look fantastic. Amazing job by everyone involved with the scenery. Making our way over to the main area of the airport where the control tower is located. Lovely bit of terraforming and landscaping going on in this aerodrome, and it's 1,000 times better, isn't it? We will be taking a look at the night lighting, of course, to see what it looks like, and let's dive straight in and look at these hangars in much closer detail. Compared to the old Barton Aerodrome scenery, it's just amazing, isn't it? You can see there's custom signage, stuff that you would find on payware quality airports. And again, I'm not going to say payware quality, well, I just did, but you know what I mean. This is really amazing quality for a new handcrafted and free airport that has been included. And I do love this. The texture quality on the buildings is great. If you get in super close, you will see blurriness, and that's to be expected. The performance I'm getting is stunning. I'm getting right now in this area in particular 53 FPS. This is in the drone camera obviously as well, so we're not inside the cockpit, but I'd assume I'd get somewhere close, maybe 40 on average. But this looks fantastic. You see the city airport sign there, the surrounding dumpsters and iron concrete structures, the shipping containers with the bits of rust and weathering down it. Again, fantastic work by Asobo, Microsoft Simulator, and the Gaia Simulations team. And we are quite close here as we zoom over the top, but you can see the quality in the textures, the PBR windows there reflecting all the light. And I must admit, you can see scratches and dirt, and especially on this older World War II hangar, or World War hangar, you can see that it's really rusted and defected over the time, as you would imagine. There's security lights on top there. It would be fun to see if those are lit up in the night lighting. Fantastic again, and I will be showing you a before and after montage. As always in my videos, I'm playing around with how I create them and how I implement them into my videos. I think I'll stick with sort of split screen and sort of the wipe effect in full screen as well, just to kind of mess it up a bit. Not mess it up, you know what I mean. But look at this, the helicopters and gyrocopters building here. The car park looks amazing. The building on construction there looks fantastic, as I mentioned in my other video. And yeah, I'm going to take a look at the control tower next in a bit more detail, and then we will head into the night lighting for Manchester Barton. And doesn't that just look fab? Look at it. It's really amazing. The control tower, it reminds me of the quality of the Wickham Air Park by Pilot Plus. It really does. You can see the guttering and the water pipes running down the side with bits of rust on it. The brickwork looks exquisite. The flags to the right here don't move, they're not animated, which is a bit sad, but again, lovely little touch. The fencing and the new custom markers, the red and white markers there, and it's really great, and it's included within the new update. And it also includes an interior which looks fantastic. The light rays coming through the windows there, the level of detail in the texture and the brickwork and the bits of rust you can see on the sides of the handrails there. You can actually see a sign on the door there as well, and wow, isn't it fantastic? So grab your watches, turn back the clocks to 1 AM and let's check out the night lighting implementation in the newest UK update for Manchester Barton Aerodrome. Well, it's quite airy, isn't it? You can see there is lights on the side of the control tower. I would imagine this particular aerodrome isn't operational through the nighttime. Again, this is probably something I should have went off and checked, but if anyone in the comments is local to Barton, or what possibly flies or works at Barton, let me know and tell me if there's night operations. But already you can see little points of lighting, including the heliport hangar off into the distance there, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. With it being a grass strip here for runways here at my Manchester Barton, there's no grass lighting in there. You can't see any of the runway markings at all, so it doesn't seem to be a night operation certified airport. But with that said, the only massive thing I can see for the night lighting here is the new heliport hangar off into the distance there. As I said before, there's little bits of lighting included in, say, the apron markers and the surrounding lights of the new motorway, which has been retextured. You can see bits of faked internal lighting on some of the buildings. We've got some just to the left here. That looks really nice, but as I say, it is mostly lit up by this large heliport hangar, which doesn't it look fantastic from a distance, and it really does add to the realism. The surrounding buildings over to this side of the aerodrome look fantastic, and I'm glad that they've added all this in, because it really does look really convincing. And wouldn't you know it, the reason for that strong lighting off into the distance is this UFO orb light, and obviously this is something that Asobo didn't even take out when they were doing it. Obviously, EVGA Simulations were the guys that did this Barton Aerodrome. I know that, as I said before, they did help with the update. Asobo didn't share any tips on removing these, so maybe it is a bit too far off to be getting excited for the developers on removing or even moving these orb lights around. But this whole area looks fantastic. There is faked internal lighting on the skylights and the other windows around these new buildings, and the orb lights are giving it a bit more of a brighter look, but again, fantastic. So there wasn't much in the way of night lighting added. That said, this is obviously a more quieter aerodrome or airport, and there wouldn't be so much light, but there wouldn't be so many lights around the airport, especially if it isn't operational at night. So it didn't have a lot of night lighting. It was there where it counted, and the whole atmosphere looked amazing. And we are now going to move on to the montage section. We're going to show you what it looks like before the update is installed. So this is a bit different now. It's not default to freeware or payware. This is before the update was installed. So the day before yesterday, you would have seen it, how it looks at first, and then we're going to move on to show you what it looks like now, which you have obviously seen in more detail just now. So yeah, let's move into the before and after montage, and I hope you enjoy it. So that was Manchester Barton Airport, Aerodrome, or it's the City Airport and Heliport as it's known more recently. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up and please consider subscribing to the Practically Geek channel for more videos like this. You'll be getting some before and after comparisons of payware and freeware airports. I've got some more UK update content throughout this week, and yeah, this is a really nice little airport, one that I use quite regularly, as I said before, an X-plane, and the level is, you don't get the open hangars, but it looks miles better than the older airport that we got before the update. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you again very, very soon.
Hello, 212, you make a left turn there now.
Hello, 212. Hello, 212, we're ready for approach now, and I request vectors via 2 company approach.